there, a very good afternoon to all of our viewers. Today is ET Now's 14th birthday and we have a lot of action-packed events lined up for you through the course of the day. We've been having big market voices, big corporate voices through the day right here on ET Now, and markets also seem to be on a very fine fettle, isn't it, Vinny?
Absolutely. Look at the Nifty also holding on about that 18,750 or around those levels as of now as well. Let's look at what the Sensex is doing as well. Was trading with gains of almost 0.4% as well. In terms of Nifty Realty, that too has picked up pace all through the week as well. As of now today also, what is it holding on to is a positive side, a bit on the positive side, moving on to that negative territory. Cheryl, Nifty Auto too will be something that is interesting to watch out for.
Absolutely,
as well.
but one focus that you need to put on is definitely the Nifty Bank, Vinny, because we've seen Nifty Bank underperforming a tad with the benchmark indices of late, but today they are moving in tandem with the benchmark indices, or rather outperforming the benchmark indices. 0.7% uptick coming in on Nifty Bank. Broader markets as well seeing good strength, with small cap index seeing gains of upwards of about 1%. Talking about the sectoral indices then, you have the IT index that's under pressure once again, 0.6% downtick coming in for IT index. But apart from that, all the sectors are in the positive territory, with the PSU bank index taking the lead, as well as media and metal index also seeing good strength. So all in all, a good healthy trading session coming in for the benchmark indices. We are able to maintain the 18,700 mark, and hopefully we should shut shop the week. Also on that note, we have 2 more hours of trading session, isn't it?
Absolutely, but on that note, let's get started with all those stocks that are buzzing in trade, either on the back of news flows or on the back of technicals as well. And on the technicals today, we are joined by Nagaraj Shetti, while from the research team we have Harsh as well as Lisa joining in with us. A very good afternoon to all three of you all as well. And I'm going to be starting with the first stock that is in focus, and this is UniBank of India, mainly on the back of an analyst meet that they had. So we have certain key takeaways that have come in, where the company has actually guided for a 12% growth in FY24, and they expect to sustain the NIMs as well at around 3%. They're planning to move to the new tax regime, likely to take a DTA hit of around 2,000 crores in FY24. The CET1 ratio stands at 12.4%, but would raise capital to meet the SEBI norms on the promoter holding at 75% when appropriate. The bank apprises to bring down net non-performing asset ratio below 1%, and the bank has already strengthened its digital banking vertical and hired a CDO from HDFC Bank, who apart from enhancing the digital footprint would also scale up the cards for the business of the company as well. On the back of this, we've seen UniBank is gaining in trade as of now, holding on to gains of around 0.5% in trade share.
All right, let's put the spotlight on ITC, and ITC has hit a new record high in today's trading session. At one point in time, last time I checked rather, this ITC was trading higher by 1.2%, hitting an all-time high of 453.3 rupees per share. Nomura has initiated coverage on ITC with a buy rating and a target of 485 rupees per share. They're expecting the cigarettes business to continue to gain a share from illicit players and report higher than historical volume growth given the stable tax regime. But Nomura is also saying that they expect the FMCG business to report best-in-class revenue, hotels business with improved activities to lead to higher occupancy and annual recurring revenue. So on back of that, they've initiated a coverage buy rating also, and if you look at the target price that they have actually set for ITC, it's 485 rupees per share. The one that you all are seeing is the record high level that it had hit, that is 453.3 is the record high for ITC, while the target price for ITC is 485 rupees per share.
485 rupees per share is what we are going to watch out for, and that's the target that Nomura has given for ITC. Let's move on, and Nagraj, your first stock for today is United Breweries. Today the stock is buzzing in trade. Last 1 week also surely seems like it's picked up a pace over some period of time now. What are the targets that we should keep for UBL?
Hi, good afternoon. Yes, rightly said, UPL after forming consolidation and an important bottom reversal around 1380, 1400 has witnessed a decisive upside breakout in the last couple of weeks. So what we can observe, a stock has moved above the strong resistance of around the 1490, 1495 levels and currently trading higher, which is indicating that the stock has found an important bottom reversal. The worst seems to be over, and the good thing is likely to come for the stock price as well. And I'm expecting this upside momentum to continue, and the next immediate resistance to be watched for this stock is around 1595 to 1600 levels.
All right, so that's the take coming in on United Breweries. But Lisa, moving on, let's talk about Motherson or SAMIL as we know it.
Well, yes, this counter has gained footing after 2 days of consecutive losses, and the reason being is that they have announced an acquisition of 65 crore. This is to acquire a French-based firm for 100% stake. This is Surma Enterprises SAS, which is into aerospace, shipbuilding and allied industries. Well, the rationale behind the acquisitions is the management is that Motherson will become tier 1 to aerospace OEM, and the proximity to OEM that will open up new avenues for the company. Now, the existing portfolio of the company that relates to aerostructure components, but with this, it will help them diversify into electrical wiring as well as interconnect system for aerospace, and also it will help the company to delve into to diversify into industries like shipbuilding and other industries as well. So as we can see on the back of this news flow, the company is showing a positive reaction and it's up around 1.5%.
Okay, let's move on and talk about Prism Johnson on the charts then, Nagraj. What is the view coming in on this one? Today also this stock is buzzing in trade. As of now, it's trading at around 127. Is it a good time to pick this one?
Yeah, of course, this is has been in a strong uptrend since last 3 weeks, and currently shifted into a consolidation and minor weakness from the higher levels of 30, 32. What it is doing is exactly making an attempt to show a decisive upside breakout of the lower trend line resistance as per the weekly time frame chart. Long-term charts are looking very positive for the stocks, and after this small consolidation, the stock is likely to move up further. On a weekly chart, what we observe is the higher tops and higher bottoms, which is indicating strength is building up for the stock for the near term. So I'm expecting this stock to regain above the hurdle of 130, 128, 130 levels very soon, and we are likely to see a good amount of upside in the near term. And the next hurdles to be watched for the stock is around 138 to 140 levels.
All right, moving on, Harsh, ICICI Lombard, what is actually fueling that big spike in this particular counter?
Well, yes, couple of reasons for that, Cheryl. First off, the latest one is Morgan Stanley quite bullish on ICICI Lombard. What they're suggesting is that growth has come back for the counter. They're saying that the growth is largely led by group health, motor as well as miscellaneous segments currently. Also, ICICI Lombard, with regard to its shareholding pattern itself, ICICI Bank is set to acquire around 3% of ICICI Lombard, take its stake from that 48% mark all the way above 50%, which came in last month. And the other positive also playing in Lombard's favor at the moment, again slightly dated on this one, is SBI Mutual Fund is going to increase its stake, or has taken approval to increase its stake from less than 5% to above 10 to around 10% in ICICI Lombard from IRDAI. So those couple of positives playing out as well slowly and gradually for Lombard. Also with regard to growth, ICICI Lombard suggested that growth is sustaining in the month of May as well after April 17% jump. Even though motor looks flat, but retail is growing in a very solid fashion for Lombard.
Okay, let's move on and talk about Sharda Cropchem on the charts. Nagraj, last 6 months when you look at it, has seen a bit of a gain coming in there. But in the last week, we've seen a slight bit of a correction. It's down 3%. Couldn't say a correction, but yes, a mild bit of downtick over there. Good time to pick this one, or would you wait for a bit more correction? What is the trend showing on the charts?
Yeah, the trend, of course, it is positive. If you look at the weekly time frame chart, larger time frame chart, what you can see is a larger consolidation pattern, larger range bound action that has started from the December 22 to March, almost May 2023. This larger consolidation has been broken out on the upper side in the last month, and this stock has surged up sharply. Currently, after the upside breakout, showing some minor consolidation, which is just a throwback of the gains, and we are likely to see further upside bounce from the lower levels. Now, the previous upside breakout area of around 530, 535 is going to be a strong support for this stock, and I'm expecting any dips in the stocks is going to be a buy on dips opportunity, and I'm expecting this stock to surge up from the lower levels. So next upside resistance to be watched for this stock is around 600.
Okay, let's move on and talk about Tata Wagons as well as RK Forgings. Both these stocks are in focus because what has happened, the consortium wins of contracts to supply 1.54 million forged wheels under the Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative is what they've received by the Ministry of Railway as a boost to Make in India. Now, contract delivering 40,000 forged vehicles during the first year and 60,000 wheels in the second year and 80,000 wheels in the subsequent year thereafter, with a total contract valued at around 12,226 crore rupees. On the back of this order win, big order win coming in for the consortium over there, both Titagar as well as Ramakrishna Forgings, and like you see in the stock has been buzzing in trade. Both the stocks are buzzing in trade. Titagar Wagons up almost 3%, while Ramakrishna Forgings is up 4% in trade as of now.
All right, so that's the reason why Titagar and RK Forging are in focus in today's trading session. But Nagraj, Nazara Tech, how is this one looking to you? An attractive bet?
Yeah, this stock has been in a continuous uptrend over the last couple of months, as it has been moving up as per the higher lows and higher highs. Recently, it has moved above the initial hurdle of around 638, 640 levels, and currently placed at the next resistance of around 750, 745, 750. I'm expecting minor consolidation at the 745, 750 levels before showing an upside breakout of this hurdle. So next important resistance is hurdle is placed for the stock is after 750 is 845, 850 levels.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Aavas Financiers, and it looks like it's the season of block deals, and today Aavas Financiers is also in focus on back of a block deal. One point in time, the stock was trading higher by about 3.8%, now given up all of those gains, trading with mild positive bias. About 7.54 lakh shares of the company changed hands via two block deals, and the price range of the block deal was 1,353.5 to 1,356.85 rupees per share. And post the block deal, you saw the spike on the stock. Now it is fizzled off. Now, as you can see on your screen, trading with the gains of about 0.7%.
Okay, let's move on and talk about Marico on the charts then. And Nagraj, this one compared to the other FMCG players has not performed that well in terms of an up move. Is it time for Marico now to show that up move?
Yeah, rightly said, because in the last many months, the stock was in a bigger consolidation, larger consolidation, moved within a range of around 520 to around 480, 470, 480 levels, and it was showing a larger degree of consolidation. Recently, in the last couple of months, what we can observe a resumption of a strong upside momentum. Currently, in the last 1 month, range bound action has been formed at the hurdle, which is indicating an important technical pattern of bullish flag type pattern. Bullish flag is technically speaking, it is a trend continuation pattern. In fact, uptrend continuation pattern, and I'm expecting the resistance of this pattern currently at 550, 555 levels, which is likely to be broken on the upper side. On the decisive upside breakout, 600 going to be next important resistance hurdle area for the stock in the near term.
All right, moving on, Lisa, let's talk about PDS and what is fueling the up move in this particular counter.
Well, as you can see, Cheryl, the stock is up around 5% and it's trading near its day high. The reason being is that its subsidiary PDS Lifestyle Limited, they have proposed to purchase 100% of a new Lobster Limited, which is established in England and Wales. So the indicative time period for the acquisition, that will be by the end of July, and it's an all-cash deal. Consideration of around 150 crore. Now, this acquisition that will enable the PDS group to expand their offering into brand management services as well as wholesale distribution. Now, in the last con call, the company did say that the company is witnessing huge opportunities, and they also have strong opportunities in their pipeline, and it looks much better than last year. So, well, we can see the traction going forward with this acquisition. So, well, yes, the stock is reacting positively to this news flow.
Okay, let's put the spotlight on a Garden Reach and what is expected in terms of charts over here. Nagraj, what is the indication that you're getting on the charts? What are the patterns that are formed for Garden Reach, and what is the target that one should keep?
Yes, Garden Reach has been in a strong up move over the last many months. What we can observe is continuous high formations and high-low formations and reasonable downward corrections and upside bounces from the lower levels. Continuous uptrend, long-term uptrend is intact. And recently, in the last few months, what we have seen is the consolidation, minor downward corrections around 450, 440 levels, and from that area, it has bounced back. This week has witnessed a strong upside breakout, moved into new high of around 599 levels. This upside momentum has likely to continue for near term, and I'm expecting around 650 to 660 to be the next resistance for this stock in the near term.
All right, moving on, Harsh, Persistent Systems. Why is this one in the spotlight today?
Well, yes, Cheryl. So what we're seeing is Persistent Systems has announced the launch of its newly established private equity value creation hub in Plano, Texas. Now, what does this hub really bring? The center will help the company expand its onshore footprint and strengthen presence in the PE market. So that's one positive. The other thing is it also enables Persistent to provide expertise across the full asset life cycle for global PE firms. And that's another positive. It also helps the PE firms, portfolio companies. So it's not just the PE firms that helps the firms track portfolio companies as well. On the back of that, stock is down around 0.8%, largely in line with how the Nifty index, IT index, is performing in trade today. But it was earlier in trade, at the start of trade, it was slightly higher.
Okay, let's move on and talk about Jubilant Ingrevia then. And what should we see in terms of targets for this one? A clear up move is expected here.
Yeah, Jubilant Ingrevia was in a downtrend, sharp downtrend during January to March month, and after that it has made an important bottom of around 350 levels. Since then, the stock has been moving up. The recent downward correction has been taken out and made a higher bottom and moved up. This higher tops and higher bottom formations as compared to the previous bearish trend like lower tops and lower bottoms is indicating that new emergence of a new uptrend for this renewed uptrend for the stock price. The stock price is expected to move further. There is a strong resistance around 480 levels, which is a downsloping trend line connected from the top of October 2021. And that trend line resistance is likely to be broken in the near term. On the upside breakout of this trend line, I'm expecting this to reach up to the next resistance of around 550 levels in the next 1 to 2 months.
Okay, let's move on and talk about the gas prices. And on the back of that, falling gas prices, we've seen Gujarat Gas, which has been in focus. And there is some bit of a pressure that we're seeing coming in on the stock as well. Today it's down 1.26% as we've seen the gas prices coming down. So yes, because of that sharp reduction since April in the gas prices, Gujarat Gas is down in trade with a decline of 1.35% as of now, Cheryl.
All right, that's Gujarat Gas for you, trading lower by about 1.3%. But Nagraj, on the charts, how does this counter look to you? Do you think that it will be able to make a comeback from those levels?
I'm expecting further weakness because the stock has formed a high of 508 levels. Since then, it has been in a downtrend. Recently, we have seen a shallow upside bounces that was showing a clearly lack of strength in the stock price to move further. It was there was a strong resistance around 488, 490 levels. The stock was not able to sustain above that, break above that levels, and decline today. I'm expecting further weakness, the downtrend to continue, and the next support to be watched for the stock is around 458 to 460.
All right, moving on, let's talk about Varun Beverages then. And this particular counter was under pressure. Last time I checked, the stock was down in excess of about 2%. Also, it was among the top losers on the FMCG index. Right now, it's made a comeback from those levels. It's actually trading lower by about 0.6%. Kotak Institutional Equities has downgraded Varun Beverages to an add rating from a buy rating, but they've gone ahead and hiked the target to 875 rupees per share, citing potential short-term upsides in the stock price. They're saying that the adverse weather in northern region could lead to a pause in the earnings upgrade cycle after several quarters of upgrades. So on back of that, they've downgraded the stock. Nevertheless, hiked the target to 875 rupees per share.
Okay, let's move on and talk about Apollo Hospitals. This one is surely in focus in the last couple of days as well. We've seen a brokerage coming out with an overweight rating on this. That was JP Morgan, I believe.
Yes, they initiated coverage
on the hospital space as well. Absolutely. And Nagraj, you two have picked out Apollo Hospitals for us today. You two are giving a thumbs up to Apollo Hospitals.
Yes, of course, thumbs up, because really it has been moving in a rounding bottom type pattern recently, and is currently last in a couple of weeks. It has been making an attempt to break above this pattern around the 5,000 to 5,050 levels, which was a strong resistance, and currently moved above that hurdle and trading higher. The overall chart pattern is looking positive. RSI is in a positive shape. Volume has moved up during this upside breakout, and this upside momentum is likely to continue for this hospital stock, Apollo Hospital, in the near term. The next hurdles to be watched is around 5750 to 5780 levels.
All right, it's not just JP Morgan or even Nagraj who is talking about the hospital space. It's also Atul Suri who said that if he has to take a bet in the healthcare space, it will be the hospitals and not the diagnostics. He has zero exposure to diagnostics, is what he has to say. And why is he betting on hospitals? Listen.
We like healthcare, so we have a very large holding in hospitals. In fact, almost like 8-9% of my portfolio is in hospitals, and we are hugely underweight pharma. So very often, as I said, that the market, the derivatives or the offshoots do very, very well. And I think healthcare, and in that also hospitals per se. I'm not talking about diagnostic companies, because I also consider healthcare. We have zero position in that, but we really like hospitals as a space. So I find that there are a lot of spaces that I'll give you. I mean, you haven't asked me about autos. You know, you have these few great auto names, but you look at some of the auto ancillary plays. Yeah. And even in that, if you subsect, because you know this, when we look at it, there were 100 stocks, and I can only have a few of them. You'll find that those who have an electrical bias in the auto ancillary space are on a different tangent. There are a different bull market happening there.
Okay, let's move on. And Lisa, TVS Motors is a stock that you've picked out for us today. Why is that so?
Motors in focus, the reason being that it has divested its stake in its subsidiary business, that is Emerald Haven Realty, and that is for 166 crore. Well, they were holding around 43% of the company, and the EHRL, that is Emerald Haven, they had reported a net worth of around 89 crore. Another reason is that Indian Navy has partnered with TVS Motor, that is to embark on a motorcycle expedition in Ladakh, which is a land of high passes. So, well, as we can see, TVS Motor is trading with a positive bias. It's in tandem with the market. But if we look on a year-to-date basis, it has outperformed Nifty, and it has given return of around 25%. So that's on TVS Motor.
All right, that's the reason why TVS Motor is in focus in today's trading session. But Nagraj, how is CG Consumer looking to you on the charts?
Yes, it is looking quite interesting. Chartical patterns are very interesting at this point of time. Recently, what we have seen over the last 1 year, the stock has been in a continuous downtrend from the highs of 450, 500 levels to almost 250, 260 levels in a span of 1 to 2 years. And the stock has made an important bottom reversal around 250 levels in the last month and moved up from that. The way it has moved up is showing some significant improvement in the chart patterns and the strength as well. Currently, we are observing a rounding bottom type pattern of the stock, and the stock has gaining its strength day by day. Recently, it has moved above the gap resistance of around 290 levels and trading higher, which was the gap was formed on 24th of April 2023. This is a significant pattern formation for this stock. I am expecting this upside momentum to continue for the stock for the near term. The 200-day EMA strong resistance is placed around 298, around the 320, 325 levels, which is going to be the strong hurdle for the stock over the period of time.
That's the view coming in on CG Consumers. Keep an eye out on those levels over there as well. That was stock number 20, and on that note, we're going to slip into a very short break. Viewers, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more stocks after this break.